How are you guys doing? Relaxing a little bit? It's been a long day, huh? Already been out of water. Still looks good. Okay, so it's time for a 2-week update of our second batch of meat birds. And right off the bat, I'll say that we're already noticing a huge difference in these guys from our previous ones. These ones are a lot more typical of what we would generally, what we've come to expect, what we had expected from meat birds from our previous year, and from seeing other YouTubers and watching their experiences with these Cornish crossbirds. These guys are they're not lethargic, but they are not nearly as lively and active as that first batch was. It was a weird fluke batch. They still look healthy, and they're growing. They seem to be growing a lot more quickly. I think it was just today they finished off their 50-pound bag of chick starter that we're going to grow them on, and now we've switched them over to the starter grower. And we're going to do something a little bit different with these chicks because we want them to grow more quickly. We're going to keep them on this starter grower for the duration of their whole 8 weeks, at least 8 weeks. But so as not to we still don't want to stress their body out too much with growing too quickly. So what we're going to do is try a mix. We're going to try to do half and half of the starter grower mixed with the hog mash. One thing I didn't realize, and it's one of those things that just didn't dawn on me until light bulb went off. Rachel mentioned something and I was just like, well, duh. The hog mash that the previous batch of birds were on, a large part of that is corn. And I didn't realize when I was butchering, there was just a humongous amount of fat on covering the organs of the birds as I was butchering this last batch. And I was just wondering, wow, these guys got really fat, and which unfortunately that factored into the weight. So it was a lot of fat in there when it could have been meat. And then I realized, well, what was the deal with that? It was probably because of the hog mash and the amount of corn it contains, because I didn't think about it. We give corn to our regular layers to keep them warm in the wintertime. The reason that works is because it adds fat to them. So we learned our lesson a little bit, and like I said, this whole year is being a huge learning experience. So we don't want them to get too fat, because that's obviously not healthy. It's just like us, too much fat is not good. So instead, like I said, we're going to do that starter grower and the hog mash combined to try to keep that balance of good healthy amount of fat on them, but not too much, and also trying to support muscle or meat growth as well. That's what we're going to be doing a little bit differently with these chicks, and I'm really excited and interested to see how that would work out. Let's get to weighing these guys. As I was saying, these guys are already showing a marked difference from the first batch. Notice they're growing a lot more. It seems like they're already growing a lot more quickly. They're almost fully feathered, so hopefully soon we'll be able to put them to bed without the heat lamps on them. We're starting to harden them off this week, and that'll really save on our electrical bill. So we're excited about that. All right, let's just weigh you. Let's just weigh you. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. Settle. Oh, okay. Settle down. You're lively. That's good. 21 ounces. Pound 5. Wow. Yeah, they're already growing. 21.6. 21 ounces, a little bit more. And if I remember correctly, they were just weighing in at 11 ounces in the last update. So they've already almost doubled their weight. I thought these guys were looking big. One downside, we did end up losing one chick. Noticed it pretty much all week this last week. It was a lot more sedentary than the others, you know. It kept its eyes closed a lot. It was breathing kind of heavily. We could even hear it wheezing for a few days, and then it finally just gave out. So we were kind of bummed about that. So right now we're sitting at an even 25 chicks, the ones that we actually ordered. So I'm still optimistic for these guys. The rest of them look like they're as active as can be expected, and we're very pleased with that. They've almost doubled their weight, so that's awesome. And be sure to stick with us next week to track these guys and their growth. It's always an interesting learning experience. But we hope to see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to click that subscribe button right below the video, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.